Let's try to solve few problems on refraction now. So about refraction, a quick revision of all the formulas which we have seen. Very quick revision of that. So I'll just mention those formulas so that while solving the problems, you will be able to use those formulas. So first is the refractive index, that is mu. So refractive index is C divided by V. That is, C is what? C is speed in light,
Speed of light.
speed of light in air
Air.
or vacuum or space, that divided by speed in any medium. So you know that speed of light will be maximum in air, right? That
Yeah.
is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So that is the maximum value of speed of light, and nothing travels faster than
I'm
that.
charging my laptop.
So in
Yeah.
that case, this value mu will be always greater than 1. So
Yeah.
for any medium, mu will be always greater than 1. And so that is the reference and the mu, right? That is the absolute refractive index of any medium. Okay, this mu can also be given in terms of lambda. If you recall, C is equals to nu lambda, where nu is frequency and lambda is wavelength. And when the medium changes, two things change. That is the speed and lambda. These two things change. We have already seen. So these will change. And as you can see here, C is directly proportional to lambda. That means velocity is directly proportional to wavelength. So that
Yeah.
means mu is equals to lambda divided by lambda dash, where again lambda is what? It is the wavelength in
First medium.
or air. If it is
Yeah.
absolute, then it is air, right? So that is mu. Next is the Snell's law. So what did we cover in Snell's law?
Sin I
Mu
by
of
sin R.
1, yes. If light is traveling from medium 1 to medium 2, then this mu, the relative refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1 is sine I divided by sine R. Okay, which is also equals to V1 divided by V2, and that is also equal to mu2 divided by mu1, right?
Yeah.
So that is the Snell's law. I hope there is no confusion in this.
No.
Okay, so this mu1 and mu2 are the absolute refractive index, and absolute refractive index of a medium is inversely proportional to the velocity in that medium,
Yeah.
right? So that's why this relation, the last relation, sine I by sine R is mu2 by mu1, while the in terms of velocity is v1 by v2 if light is entering from medium 1 to medium 2. Okay, and one more thing, that is not Snell's law, but about refractive index. Refractive index of, when light is traveling from medium 1 to medium 2 is inverse of or reciprocal
Medium
of
2 to 1.
when you change the order, right? So that is the next one. Then we have seen successive refractive indices.
Yeah.
That is, if light is traveling from medium 1 to medium 2, then medium 2 to medium 3, and then again from medium 3 to medium 1, then this product is equal to 1. This example we have seen in the compound,
3.
yes, successive
Yeah.
refractions, right? So
Yeah.
there will be refractions at multiple stage, but the emergent ray and the incident ray will be parallel. So this is from there, and from this you can also conclude that mu of a medium, say for example 2 to 3, when light is traveling from 2 to 3, is equal to refractive index, I mean it is equals to 1 divided by mu 3 1 into
mu 1, 2,
1
2,
2.
1.
So this is nothing but, right, this I can take it up. The first one I can take
1, 3.
the numerator. So this will be mu of 1 with, I mean, from 1 to 3 divided by mu 1 to 2.
Yeah.
So it is same as you can see here, from 1 to 2 is what? Mu 2 divided by mu 1. So if it is 2 to 3, it will be mu 3 divided by mu 2. That is what you have written here. Only thing is,
Yeah.
instead of with respect to air, it is with respect to medium 1. That medium 1 can be anything, right? So the most generic will be what? This mu of a medium, say from medium 2 to medium 3, if light is traveling, it will be mu 3 with respect to a common medium divided by mu 2 with respect to a common medium. And the same thing for, if it is, say, mu of, I mean, if 1 is nothing but air, then the same thing changes to mu 3 divided by mu 2, right? Because if it is with respect to air, it is the absolute refractive index,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? Then we have seen lateral shift. In lateral shift, we have seen that the lateral shift, let's say if it is represented by x, that x is equals to t divided
Or
by cos
by
r
cos r.
sine I minus r.
Sin I minus
So what is t?
thickness.
T is the thickness of the medium, for example, that slab. And x is the lateral shift. So lateral shift is x. So again, a very important formula. If you remember it well and good, you can expect direct questions based on this in both board exams as well as the competitive exams. Okay. Another way of, so that is in terms of I and R. If you know what is I and R, then this is how you are going to, or this is the relation which you are going to use. Then next is the apparent depth. Right? So when a coin
Real by
or a
mu.
stick, yes. So yeah, when a coin or a stick is in water or some other medium and you're seeing from outside, its height is raised. So in that case, or in this case, mu, which is the refractive index of the medium, is equals to real depth divided by apparent depth. So this is the main thing which you should know. The concept is this, right? So this mu is equals to t divided by apparent depth. So that means apparent depth is equals to t divided by mu, right? So no need to worry much about this. This is the expression which we should learn. Mu is equals to real divided by apparent. Okay, any doubt there?
No. No, no.
Okay, and if there are multiple uh, liquids, then there will be multiple apparent depth. So you just have to add all of them. Don't multiply them. You have to add all of them. So this is about the refraction at plane surfaces. So these are the things which we have covered in that Snell's law. I mean, if you have multiple mediums, then how to or how the refractive indices are related, and the lateral shift and apparent depth. So now let's move ahead and solve few questions based on these concepts. So the first question is that a ray of light of frequency 5 into 10 to the power 14 hertz. So this is the frequency of the light. A ray of light of this particular frequency is passed through a liquid, right? So this passes through a liquid. The wavelength of light measured inside the liquid is found to be, so the wavelength inside the liquid is found to be 450 into 10 to the power minus 9 meter, that is 450 nanometers. You have to calculate the refractive index of the medium. Can you give it a try?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. What did you get? 0.75.
Yeah.
Your approach? What?
Uh, C is equal to frequency into lambda.
Correct. So from this you will get lambda,
Yeah.
right? So lambda in air will be what? It will be C divided by nu. So C is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second divided by divided by frequency, which is 5 into 10 to the power 14. So done. This is lambda in air,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Oh,
So
one second. Sorry. Lambda
no,
in air. Rather than yeah. Sorry. 10 to power minus. .13 something.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
13
so
point
that is right. I guess this is how you
three.
can do it. There will be different ways of doing this. This is one of them, that you find the lambda in air. Then you have already this lambda in the medium. So you have lambda in medium. You have lambda in air. Mu will be lambda in air divided by lambda in the medium. So this is what you should get. And if you will solve it, you will get 1.33. So the medium's refractive index will be 1.33.
Yeah, 1.3. Sorry. Yeah.
So that is the solution. Okay, now let's move to
1.3 is of water, right?
1.33 is of, what did you say?
Water.
Yeah, it may be. We don't have to remember these things. The concept is more important.
Okay.
Okay, moving to next question. So here a light of wavelength 6000 angstrom in air. So this is the wavelength in air, right? Enters a medium with refractive index 1.5. So the refractive index of a medium is 1.5. What will be the frequency and wavelength of the light in that medium? So you have to find the frequency of the light in that medium and the wavelength in that medium. So what will be that? So it's similar to the problem which we have already solved. Give it a
Yeah.
try. Yes, go ahead. What is lambda?
1 second. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. Frequency is 0.1 10 to power 8.
Point
5.
5 into 10 to the power
10
8.
to power 18. 18.
10 to the power 18. Okay.
and lambda is lambda m, yeah, so this uh, 0.4 10 to the power minus 9. Yeah, 0.4 10 to the power minus 9 meters.
Okay.
Or 4 angstroms.
Okay, we'll see this. The first part, that is where you have to find the frequency.
9, not
So
5. Minus 9.
minus 9. Okay, we'll see that. So first part where we have to find the frequency, right? Let's see that first. So frequency is not going to change even if the medium
Yeah.
changes, right? So frequency you can find out from this expression itself. So frequency will be equal to C is equals to nu
Oh my
lambda.
God.
So nu is equals to C divided by lambda. So just substitute the values here. C is 3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by lambda is 6,000 angstrom. So 6,000 angstrom means 10 to the
10
power
to the power 15. 10 to the power 15. 0.5
minus
10 to the power 15.
1
18 minus
angstrom
3.
is 10 to the power minus 10. This is the
Yeah.
relation, right?
Yeah.
So now if you
Answer.
solve it, you will get uh, 10 to the power 15.
Yeah.
8 plus 10, 18. 18 minus 3, 15
15.
into 0.5.
5.
0.5 into 10 to the power
Power 15.
uh, 15.
Hertz. What was 6,000? How bad? Sorry. Similarly, that will become minus 9
Okay.
plus 3.
So
So minus 6.
this is the correct answer for the first part. These many hertz. Yeah. Now go ahead. So this is the frequency of light, and now you have to find the lambda. So what do we know about mu and frequency? Mu is equals to lambda
Lambda
divided
1 by
by
lambda 2.
lambda. I mean
Yeah.
lambda divided by lambda in the medium. You have to find lambda
Medium.
in the medium. So lambda in the medium will be equals to lambda divided by
Air by mu.
lambda is 400 angstrom. So you can actually find in angstroms
Yeah, yeah.
itself divided by mu, which is 1.5. Sorry, 6,000, right? 6,000 divided
6,000. 6,000 by 1.5.
1.5. So 6 by 1.5 is 4. So this is actually 4,000.
Angstroms. Yeah.
So in so that is 4,000 into 10 to the power minus 10 meters. So you can leave it here itself, or if you are trying to find it in meters, this will be what? So this will be 4 into 10 to the power minus 7 meters,
Meters. Correct.
right? So be careful about this. It's not 10 to the power 18 here, it's not 10 to the power minus 9 here.
Yeah,
So
I
if
forgot it was 1,000. I took it 6.
no problem.
This is why I lose most of my marks in exam.
So that's why you practice. That's what I told you even in the previous class, right? You try to practice more and more questions and complete the solution. So we have this tendency. Most of the students will have this tendency to stop once they know the formula which they have to apply.
Yeah, yeah, correct.
Yeah. So don't do that. Complete the entire thing, and you now you have enough time to practice this, right? This is not something for which you need to know some basics and all, so it just needs practice, right? So with that, this problem will be resolved, so no need to worry about this, but yes, you have to take action on this. Okay, let's move to the next question. The refractive index of glass is 1.5. So for glass, say refractive index is 1.5, and that of water is 1.3. So these are the two refractive indexes of glass and water. If the speed of the light in water is, let's say, speed in water, so this is, let's represent it like this. Okay, now speed is given in water. That speed of light in water is 2.25 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. And see, these problems are straightforward. They are directly,
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to substitute the values. So you cannot uh, afford making mistakes in calculation. So that's why complete the calculations. If you are making mistakes right now, that's completely okay. What is the speed of light in glass? That is what you have to find here.
Okay.
So refractive index is given, both the mediums. One medium's velocity is given. You have to find the speed in second medium. It's a straightforward, simple question. Can you repeat your answer?
1.17 into 10 to the power 8.
Meter per second, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. So basically, mu1 divided by mu2 is what? V2 divided by V1. We know this, right?
Yeah. What I did was I took like mu water and I said it was x by velocity in water. Then I found
Okay.
what was x. I found what was x, and then I took for glass, that is 1.5 is equal to this x by the velocity in
Glass.
glass. So velocity is whatever the this whatever found one that x by 1.5.
Okay.
I mean the
Okay. So
same
by,
thing, right?
yeah, you will get the same thing. So let's see what we get here. Then we'll come to your method as well. Even there, we should get the same thing. This is some. This is the some result which we have just now. Just now we saw this, right,
Discuss.
in the
Yeah.
previous page, right? So mu and v are inversely proportional. So if we can directly use this, it will be good. So we have to find. Let's say this is G. 2 is water. So V2 is water and V1 is G. So what will be Vg, which we have to find? That will be velocity in water into mu in water divided
By
by mu of glass. So now let's substitute these values directly. So you will get velocity in water, that is 2.25 into 10 to the power 8
8 into
to
1.3
1.3, correct, divided by
by 1.5.
1.5.
The
Good.
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so 15 into,
This is 0.3 and upper it is 0.045.
so 15 into 15 is 225, right? We can directly,
Yeah, sorry. Correct.
okay. So that is 0.15. So that, and 15 into 13 will be 195. So this is 1.95 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So this is similar, but there may be some calculation mistake or something there. So let's now try with the method which you have followed. What you have followed is that the first mu, that is mu of glass, is equal to the
No,
velocity
mu
in,
of water because it's already given.
also mu of glass is also given, right? So mu of water is, okay, c divided by what is that, velocity in water, right?
Yeah.
This is what you said, right?
I didn't take it as C as such because we don't know the value. I just took it as an X. So
why
we're just
why
finding what is
why
X.
why if it is medium, if it is given that this is refractive index of water, that means the reference medium is air, and it is
Oh,
always c divided by v. So in any case, if you have calculated x, x will be the same thing, that is 3 into 10 to the power say, suppose if I write here x, what difference it will make?
Yeah.
You have calculated the value of x?
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you get? You must have got the same thing, right? 3 into 10 to the power 8.
Correct. Yeah.
So that is nothing but c. Anyways, so this is velocity of light in.
And I take the ratio.
So now if you go and solve this, you will get the same thing. So from here you must have substituted c there, but that is not required actually. You can directly write, for example, from here if you will get vg, that is velocity in glass, that will be nothing but c divided by mu g.
Yeah.
Right? And yes, so what should be that? C is 3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by mu g. Mu g is 1.5.
Yeah.
So you will get approximately 2 into 10 to the power 8. So this and this, they are almost similar. 2 and 1.95. Right? But obviously here you have 1.17, which is little, or which is very low. It is almost half of the actual answer. Right? So
Actually, I got the same expression as above, as what you got in the first step. So that is a calculation mistake. I made a calculation mistake. That's why I got a different answer. But I got the same step. That is 2.2 into power 8 into 1.3 by 1.5.
yes, you will get the same. Okay, so in that case you will get, so maybe some calculation mistake, ultimately you will get the same answer, that is 1.95 into 10 to the power 8. Okay, shall we move to the next question?
Oh, yeah. 0.3.
Okay, so this is a question which involves more than one medium. So let's, that means multiple steps are there. So a ray of light passes through a plane boundary separating two media whose refractive indices are mu1, that is equals to 3 by 2, and mu2. These are two different mediums, and these are the refractive index of these two mediums. Right? So a ray of light passes through a plane boundary separating two media whose refractive indices are this. I hope you understood, right? What is the situation? This is the plane boundary. There is a medium here, let's say mu1, and there is a medium here, let's say mu2. And the light ray passes through this, right? And these are the refractive indices. Next, if the ray travels from medium 1 to medium 2, medium 1 to medium 2 at an angle of incidence of 30 degree. So that means the first situation is like this. The angle of incidence is 30 degree. I mean, I is equals to 30 degree. So in that case, what is the angle of refraction? So in first case, if it is traveling from medium 1 to medium 2, as you can see here, the ray is traveling from medium 1 to medium 2, and angle of incidence is 30 degree, then what is angle of refraction? That is the first thing, when it is traveling from 1 to 2. The second question of the second part of the same question is, if the ray travels from medium 2 to medium 1, that is, if it travels from 2 to 1 at the same angle of incidence, that is, if theta or I is still 30 degree itself, then what is the angle of refraction? So these are the two questions here. Mu1 and mu2 is given. One medium is 3 by 2, another medium is 4 by 3. The ray is traveling from mu1 to mu2 at 30 degree. In that case, what will be the angle of reference, angle of refraction? And if it is traveling from medium 2 to medium 1, what will be the angle of refraction at that time? So these are the two things which you have to calculate. Okay, take your time, don't rush, don't try to, or before actually telling the answer, just go through the calculation once. yourself, right?
Yeah.
Try to see whether your calculation is correct or not. And obviously before that, the concept of the formula which you are applying, that should be, and the final equation which you get or expression, that should also be correct.
Is sine inverse of 4/9?
Refractive index is already given.
Sorry. Angle of refraction.
In both the cases, you will get same angle of refraction.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think you are
Sine I by
confusing
sine.
with the principle of reversibility which we have studied. Anyways, let's see. Let's clear that concept first. Then we'll go to this question again, because I think that is the confusion here. See, we have studied principle of reversibility, which says that if there is, suppose these are two different mediums. From one medium, if the light is incident, right, then it will,
Yeah.
let's say it goes through a refraction, and then if you are able to, at any point of time, if you are able to make the light travel in just opposite direction in just one path, then the complete path will be reversed. That means if I have a mirror here at an angle of 90 degree, that means if the angle of incidence is 0 degree here, so if a mirror is placed here, then what will happen to this light ray, the green ray which is coming down, it will be reflected at the same angle, that is 0 degree. So now I have reversed
Yeah.
this, and because I have reversed this, so in after refraction also it will follow the path which it will actually trace back the original path. Now this is principle of reversibility, and this situation and the situation in this particular question are not same. What is the situation there in that question? Let's see that as well. There you have this is the interface, right? There is a normal, and you have an incident ray which is making an angle of 30 degree, right? So obviously it will have some angle of refraction here, right? Now if so, this is from medium 1 to medium 2, understood? This is medium 1, this
Yeah.
is medium 2. If it is from medium 1 to medium 2, it will follow this. Now if you are confusing it with this principle, then remember this principle is what? The from medium 2 to medium 1, if you are traveling, you should travel along the same ray in the medium 2. So in medium 2, you should follow the same path. That means now this angle of refraction will become angle of incidence in the second medium, and that is not the case. If you go through the question, you will see that in second case, the angle of incidence is 30 degree. It is not R.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Understood? So
Yeah.
that's why the angle of refraction will also change. And obviously these two won't be same, because the refractive index is different, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you go ahead and solve this.
So actually, yeah. Okay. So my R is for the first case, where just from medium 1 to 2,
Hmm.
it is sine inverse of 9/16.
9 by 16. Yeah, that is correct. So
And
let's, go ahead, go ahead.
second case is sine inverse of 4/9.
Second case, it is sine inverse of 4 by 9. Yes, this is also correct. Both are correct. Right. So you got the answer, right? So we have
It was
already seen.
actually a calculation problem. I wrote the formulas correctly only, but then I made a mistake in calculation.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay, no problem. So the concept was also important, and anyways, you have got this, but just for the sake of explanation, I'll give here, that is the when the ray is traveling from medium 1 to medium 2, then sine I by sine R will be equal to mu2 by mu1.
2 by
which we-
mu 1
right? So that is equals to 4 by 3 divided by
by 3 by 2.
2, and that's how you have got
9 by 16.
no 16 by 9 here,
Oh, sorry, 16 by 9.
actually 8 by 9.
Yeah,
8
8
by
by
9.
9.
And then
I
you have to
multiply.
find sine r. So sine r will be equals to sine I into 9 by 8. Yes, sine I into 9 by 8, and I is equals to 30 degree, so that is equals to 1 by 2 into sine 30 is half, right? So sine 30 is half, so that's why 1 by 2 into 9 by 8. So that means sine r is equals to 9 by 16. And you
16.
apply the same thing in the reverse direction, you will get, in the second case, sine r will be equals to 4 by 9.
9.
Okay, that's correct. So that was about the, yes, refraction at plane surface. Now let's see a problem on the apparent depth or something similar.
Yeah.
Not apparent depth actually, multiple mediums. Let's see a question based on that.
Okay.
So a rectangular glass slab rests in the bottom of a trough of water. That means there is a container having water, right? And in this water, there is a glass slab at the bottom, right? So this is a glass slab, right? And it is filled with water. The tub is filled with water. A ray of light incident on water surface at an angle of 50 degree passes through the water into the glass, right? So a ray of water is incident on the water surface at an angle of 50 degree, and obviously there will be a refraction, and after refraction it will pass through the glass. So there will be refraction at this surface as well, right?
Yeah.
So it passes through water into the glass. Calculate the angle of refraction in the glass. So here, if there is a refraction, what is the angle of refraction here? This is what you have to find. This R is
Okay.
what? This is what you have to find. Given that mu for water, that is mu water is 4 by 3, that is 1.33, and mu of glass is, you know that it is 1.5, that is 3 by 2. Now you have to find this particular R, which you can see in this diagram.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
when it is traveling from air to water, it is 4 by 3. I mean, it's already given. Mu of water and mu of glass is already given there. So here it is traveling, here in between it is traveling from water to glass. So that is the problem. That is the, so there will be a
So the
refraction
angle of
and there will be a refraction.
refraction in medium 1 will be the angle of incidence of medium 2.
Yes. Alternate angles.
Yeah.
So let's say this angle is R dash, then even this angle will be R dash.
How do you find sine of 50 degrees?
Sine of
Sine
50 degree. You
50.
can leave it as it is, no problem.
Okay. You can't find. Okay.
So here light is traveling from water to glass. So you should know what is mu of glass with respect to water. So what will be that? Mu of glass divided by mu of water.
Water.
This is the thing which you have to first find out. I hope you have already got it. That's how you actually reached sine 50 degree. So mu of glass by mu of water will be 3 by 2 divided by 4 by 3, which is 3 into 3, 9 divided by 8. So this is the mu at this junction. So here mu is equals to 9 by 8.
Yeah, 9 by 8. Sine R is equal to. What are they asking? R, right?
Yes, this final R, the angle of refraction in glass.
I'm getting it's a weird answer.
Okay,
Because
one by one, we'll go step by step. The
yeah.
first thing, because that is also important. First thing, at the surface, water surface. This is the first surface, and this is the second surface. So at surface 1, you have sine I divided by sine R is equals to the refractive index of water, which is 4 divided by 3, correct? So from there, you must have got sine R is equals to 3 by 4 into sine I, which is
Yeah.
sine 50 degree. So that is nothing but 3 by 4 sine 50 degree. Leave it as it is.
Isn't
Later
it
we
4 by 3?
know why. You have to find sine R. You must have found sine I. Maybe
Oh
that is
yeah, 3 by 4. Sorry, my bad.
okay. So
Sorry,
this is
sorry.
sine R. Now that is sine R. After that, what we have to find? Second. For the second case, that is at surface 2, sine R divided by sine R dash. That is the refractive index of glass with respect to water, and this is nothing but 9.9 divided by 8. So equate it to 9 by 8. Clear? Now what do you have to find? You have to find sine R.
Yeah.
No, you have to find, what did I do? Actually, this is sine, this is R dash, right? This is R dash, so this is also R dash, this is R dash, and this is R. Right? Sine R dash divided by sine R is nothing but 9 by 8. So what is sine R now? Sine R will be equal to
2 by
8
3.
divided by 9 into sine R dash,
50
which
degree.
8 by 9 into sine R dash is what? 3 by 4
Sine
into
50
sine
degrees.
50 degree. So that is yes, 8 by 9 into 3 by 4 into sine 15 degree. Just substitute that, you will get, I
2
guess,
by
2
3.
by 3
Sine 50 degree.
sine 50 degree. That's all. That is sine R. So it will be such that then, I mean, you can use your calculator, or I mean, if you leave it here itself, it will be sufficient. In exam, obviously, they'll give you something, either they'll give you trigonometric tables. So from there, you can substitute the values of sine 50 degree, or the
Okay.
value will be given to you directly.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's all about these problems which are based on the refraction. We have not solved any problem on the apparent depth. I'll suggest you to go through the textbook and solve some problems based on apparent depth as well.
Yeah.